The United States will be X'd out of history. Do you remember the solar eclipse of August of 2017? I want you to look at the route it went. There's another eclipse happening in 2024. Look at the route that goes. What does it make? It makes an X. So who orchestrated the positioning of the sun and the earth, created the solar eclipse to make an X upon the United States? What do you think he's saying? Because Jesus said that there will be signs in the sun, the moon, and in the star. These eclipses were 7 years apart from each other, the number of completion. You're seeing what's going on now with Russia and Ukraine and China and Taiwan. Think on that.
Matthew 12, then some of the scribes and Pharisees said to him, Teacher, we want to see a sign from you. But he answered and said to them, an evil and adulterous generation craves for a sign, and yet no sign will be given to it but the sign of Jonah. The prophet tells Jonah to go to Nineveh. This is going to come into play with this eclipse. Now, we have this eclipse coming April 8th. This eclipse, there are 7 cities in the United States called Nineveh. They are in the path of this eclipse. The eclipse will also be able to be viewed from Jonah, Texas. Yes, there is a Nineveh, Texas, and there is a Jonah, Texas, and they are both going to be able to view this eclipse.
Yeah, well, I didn't get to see the eclipse. It was rainy and overcast here, so I don't know what that means for me. But I'm okay, because I'm just reminded of the power of the God of the universe. And I'm enamored by him and not by the sun and the moon and the stars. But, you know, we have prophets today, self-professing prophets, that want to pull scriptures out like that about and an evil and an adulterous generation seeks for a sign, which seems ironic, to say the least, to say something like that when you're talking about focusing on the eclipse. If we're going to talk about certain omen readings, X marks the spot, or, you know, we're going to talk about certain cities that have certain names to them, I would like to see people follow up and to go to those cities and see if they did what Jonah 3 talks about that Nineveh did, that the king tore his robe and that he dressed himself in sackcloth and ashes, and that the whole city repented and turned to God, and that God relented. I wonder if people will follow up in that way. Stay biblical, my friends. If you got to see the sun be eclipsed by the moon, be amazed by the God of the universe who ordained it to happen.